Hey, I'm Forrest, and this is the Cannabis Solution. If it's your first time here, thanks for coming. If you're back for more, I appreciate your support. Today, I want to talk about New Jersey and the recent legislation for their newly legalized cannabis laws. We're going to be talking about psilocybin at the end, so stay tuned for that at the end of the show. So, yes, there's a revised bill to regulate the cannabis industry in New Jersey. It's going to be coming across the floor to vote this Thursday. The reason it was revised is because advocates felt that the bill did not do enough to address the social injustices that occurred to communities of color over the years of the drug war, and they wanted to see that addressed. Lawmakers, hearing their concerns, did revise the bill and have made it much more reinvestment friendly. So 70% of the taxes that are going to be collected from the cannabis industry will be reinvested into those communities of color that were disproportionately affected by the drug law by investing in job training, mentorship, and legal aid. 30% of the cannabis taxes collected are going to be applied towards education, law enforcement, and the administration of the industry. So I think that's a really positive move to see the legislators of New Jersey take such dramatic action, with 70% of the taxes collected going towards those communities that were disproportionately affected by the drug law. The next thing I want to talk about are going to be the cultivation licenses that they're going to issue in the state of New Jersey. They're going to be 2 licenses. One will be micro, one will be macro. So think about this like micro brew and macro brew being Coors and Budweiser. Okay, so the macro brews, they're going to cap those at 37 licenses issued. That'll last for 2 years, and then they're going to revisit it. They might add to it. They might reduce it. They'll probably add to it. But 37 macro grows are going to be approved. Micro grows, those are going to be classified by 10 employees or less. Those are going to be uncapped, or unlimited amount of micro grows are going to be issued. I think this is great personally because micro brews are one of my favorite things, and I really enjoyed the flavor and the quality and the care that goes into those micro brews. And I can speak from experience that you're going to have the same effect on the micro grows or cultivation centers that are going to be opening up in New Jersey. So really, again, super stoked to see that in there. The Democratic Convention in New Jersey is very much in favor of getting out in front of legalization and using the capital that is being raised to reinvest in the communities that have been adversely affected by the drug lord. And also, one last thing I want to say is that home grows are not going to be legal. Okay, so home grows are not going to be legal, and home grows are not going to be legal. So you're not allowed to grow your 3 to 5 or 10 plants in your backyard. You're going to have a cultivation license. That could change, but until then, I'll just say it one more time, home grows are not legal in New Jersey. In this bill, they're also going to decriminalize cannabis for possession, so you'll be able to have it in your possession, and they're going to also, until this bill is passed and takes effect, they are asking all lawmakers and prosecutors to use their discretion in how they handle the cases that are currently in the system or that have entered the system since the vote was passed in early November. So again, really kind of thinking forward on let's not clog up the system with people who are being charged with cannabis possession when we're just going to make it legal in a month. So I think those are all good news for the cannabis law. And then on this law that was on this bill, sorry, it's not a law yet, but on this bill that is going to be voted on Thursday, there is also a psilocybin measure attached to it, and it has been moved into its own bill, which will also be voted on Thursday. And psilocybin, if you're not familiar with it, is the drug or the compound found in mushrooms, which alters your mental state. And in recent years, this compound has been getting a lot of research conducted with it, and it has found some really good benefits for people who suffer from such conditions as depression and PTSD. Psilocybin is being shown in some clinical tests to be more effective than some of the current drugs being used to treat it. And also, a shorter period of full recovery where you don't need to continue using a pharmaceutical. You can do 2 or 3 controlled experiences with psilocybin and have a much better outcome with your condition of depression and PTSD. So if you found value in this show, please like and subscribe. And my name is Forrest Jones. This is the Cannabis Solution, and I appreciate you. Bye.